The people who aggressively demand explanation from you are not looking to understand you. They are looking to regain control over you. Yet, the more someone misunderstands you on purpose, the more you start explaining yourself. So, what is over explaining anyway, and why are we doing this? Well, as far as I see, it's rooted in childhood traumas or experiences that we probably were not listened to as children. Maybe our no wasn't enough, and we had to explain ourselves over and over again, come up with brilliant explanations and justifications as if we were in a courtroom and we had to have a very appealing presentation to please the judges. And these judges most often were adults in our lives, like parents, relatives, teachers, maybe. And the root of it, I think, is that we feel the need to explain in order to be accepted or not to be rejected. Because if we feel rejected, especially as children, that is a very dangerous thing for us. Children need attachment in their lives. That's how they survive. Children need to feel safe. And if your parents or your teachers rejected you, that you probably then you probably try to do everything in your power to please them, to give them enough explanation, to over explain your no, because that wasn't enough in itself. And well, that happened in the past. Yet a lot of adults still do this, still carry this pattern into adulthood. I know I have. What about you? So what over explaining is actually is not communication, is not honesty. Maybe that's what you think it is, or maybe that's what you hope it is, but it's not. In reality, it's a coping mechanism or a survival technique in order to keep you safe. It's simply just the fear of rejection. It is simply you are trying to please others in order to be accepted, in order to be good or seem to be good and proper. But what you are really doing is trying to get permission for your choices. As an adult, as an equal adult being, you are still trying to act like a child who needs permission from adults and from authorities. Well, to approach it, to go a bit deeper, we have to face reality. In previous episodes, I talk about that some people just simply don't want to understand us and just cannot accept us for who we are. And this is the case exactly in here. So those people who really demand an explanation very aggressively, have you noticed that you can never ever please them with your answer? No matter what you do, you just pretty much dig yourself deeper in a hole. And now it's not about you being understood, it's about these power dynamics, like in the animal world, that who is the alpha here. And the alpha is who has more confidence and who kind of in those people's minds who controls the other one. So you can never ever win in this situation. You can never ever be understood and accepted by those who never wanted to understand you in the first place, who just wanted you to act as their puppets, who just thrive on your energy, and your reaction is a wonderful energy source for them. So the more you explain and the weaker you seem and the less confident you seem, the more energy they gain. And this is a pointless dynamic pretty much. It just draining you, drains your energy. So what can be done here? How can we change this? I'm still learning here, so that's why this topic resonates with me so deeply, because I'm still on the learning path. But at least finally, after decades, I realized this. Again, the first step, I think, it's realization, to be very honest with ourselves. So again, it comes down to honesty and being courageous enough to see this for what it is, like a power dynamic. So first, recognize this. And second, just know, just have this anticipation that it will be a long, long journey and you will fail yourself or seemingly fail yourself because you might not stand up for yourself. You might give in to this urge to over explain again and again. Just know that it's okay. It's very hard to change all of a sudden, so it will take time. But the second best thing you can do is to pause, to simply pause and again connect with your breath. That's the most important and the simplest thing that you can possibly do. So, whenever you just feel that question is not being sincerely explorative, the goal of that question and that person asking that question is not being to get closer to you, to understand you, to have empathy for you. You, whenever you feel it, and I assume you feel it right away, you just have this body sensation again. Feel your body. Do you feel this intuition that you are being attacked? And even that person can wrap this very aggressive question into a nice, bubbly wrapping. Try to soften their tones, but still you feel this piercing, aggressive energy coming to you. Then listen to your intuition. And you just pause there and you can give simple answers. And for the first time in your life, just start not to say no and then go into a 10-minute justification. Why not? But try to say no and then just pause there. Or you can even say, if you want to add some other words to ease your discomfort, you can say, no, it's not working for me. Or you can even say sorry, even when you shouldn't be sorry, but you can put it politely that, sorry, no, this doesn't work for me. No, I cannot make it. I know I won't have time for that. And these simple phrases. So the everything in life, I think, the more simple, the better, or the more maintainable. So just try to keep it simple. And sometimes silence in itself is a reaction and an answer. And depending on your conversation partner or opponent, so to speak, their reaction will, their next reaction to your silence will reveal their intent more. If they try to personalize it, trying to be very personal and very hurtful because of your silence or because of your no, then now here's your confirmation. If you had any doubts in the first place, that no, this person really has no interest in understanding me. So just let it go. It's a tough one. If they are close people to you, like close friends or family members, then grief comes in play. So you have to grieve this, the illusion that you had about these people. So that's a tough one, but that's just a fact. So maybe you have to do that and maybe just quietly step away. If you are not very big on words, you cannot really defend yourself, without defending yourself, without over explaining, then just step away You can just say that I don't want to explain this further, or I don't need to explain this further. The main thing here is finally feeling like an equal human being. Because my guess is, if you are listening to this, that we probably had similar adverse experiences in childhood. And so we kind of were conditioned to feel that we are inferior to others, like to authority figures, to teachers, to parents, or to anyone who are very loud and very confident or very aggressive. So just realize this and choose yourself step by step. As I said, it will be a long process, probably. So another way to approach this, how to distinguish between why questions that think about someone who really loves you and always has your back, like a good friend, a good sibling, whoever you have. Remember a situation where that happened before. And how does that feel in your body? Do you feel safe? Find that feeling and think about those people who actually love you and don't just say that they love you, but they act accordingly. What do they do in a situation? For example, they ask you something and you have to say no. Have you realized or have you noticed that you say no way, way easier to those people? And then further explanation is not really necessary. Those who actually love you and accept you and cheering for you and on your side, they won't need an explanation for you to choose yourself. In fact, they probably will be very happy for you when you say no and just pat you on the shoulder that, oh, good job, you said no. Okay, I honor that. I respect that. I'm proud of you. So do you feel the difference between the two intentions and people and energies? So just follow here too, just follow your gut instinct. And you have to practice believing that you are an equal human being. That can be a tough one, but if that's what you need to do, then you just stand in front of the mirror, put your hands on your heart, and just deep breath and just feel that love for you and that appreciation. Okay, and what is the other reason why we like to over explain? For one thing, if you are the weaker person in this power dynamic, you probably can handle stress less and discomfort less than those who are very manipulative people and very aggressively want something from you, mostly your energy and your reaction. So if that's the case, again, you just pause and feel that discomfort. You can be sure that you will feel very uncomfortable for saying no, and over explanation normally eases that discomfort short term. Long term, it absolutely ruins your life. But in a short term period, it can ease this discomfort. So that's the answer. Try to get familiar with the discomfort. Or shall I say, try to be comfortable with the discomfort. And this will only happen with practice. The more you do this, the more you can just stay in your no without further explaining, the more you can just sit in that very uncomfortable feeling in your body and those uncomfortable grimaces and looks on the other person's face. the better it will get with time. I promise you. It's just very hard to start this. But that's the thing with everything that's meaningful in life, that after maybe the enthusiasm that comes at the first attempt, after it is getting harder till a point. So it will get uncomfortable. Every process in life, every skill that we learn, it will at some point get uncomfortable and hard. And so you have to kind of push through that. Again, there's this misconcept, especially if you're a spiritual person. A lot of spiritual teachings encourage you to always find your bliss and always just step away from uncomfortable situations. But in real life, in the physical realm, that's just simply not how it works. That there will be a discomfort, and you have to, with time, you have to distinguish between that discomfort that no, it's not for me, it's not my path, and that type of discomfort that okay, my path is through this discomfort, and my ideal self is on the other side of this wall, and I just have to push a little bit and get through this eventually. And I promise you, with time and practice, it will get easier. So don't listen to those voices that just encourage you to always avoid discomfort, because that's probably not true either. Also, on the other side, that's not true either, that you always have to feel discomfort, because that's life. So again, find your own truth and your own body sensations. And the easiest way to do this is to remember, to reflect on the past and look at things that you now are very proud of, and they became a part of you. They became a habit, now an instinct, a natural energy of you, a skill. And how did that happen? And if that's a confirmation for you that, oh yeah, I remember now, it was hard at that point and then it became easier, then you can, you know, acknowledge that and compare the present to those past situations, and that can give you some boost, some encouragement that yes, you are on the right path. It worked in the past before, and so will it here now. And if you are more comfortable with this process and more comfortable in being uncomfortable and being in the silence and just stepping away, and then comfortable with the consequences, that there might be some silent treatment or getting very personal and ugly and attacking you on a personal level, insulting you, then you can take it to a next level of actually to smirk about this, to have this amused mastery, so to speak, when you can use maybe sarcasm, irony, just turn an accusation or a character assassination into a joke, and just take the edge and the energy out of it, and then the other person will be just confused and left alone. They won't have a partner to dance with. So you can try that, but first things first, I encourage you to just get familiar and get used to the uncomfortable. And just another short insight I've been thinking about, my past reactions and my people pleasing and over explaining, that the other reason we want to explain ourselves, because we are kind of explaining or over explaining ourselves to ourselves, because we can have this underlying insecurity and this doubt that, oh my goodness, that is that person right? Maybe they are right. Maybe I am cold. Maybe I don't care. Maybe I am stupid. Maybe I am too emotional. So explore that for you. And here comes in the shadow work. So yeah, if you don't know what's that, just Google it, search it in YouTube. Carl Jung, the Swiss therapist, psychiatrist talks about the shadow, and it's very important for us to explore it and actually see ourselves for who we are again. Stop lying to ourselves and step by step, explore those shadow realms of ours to be able to see them clearly. So when somebody pushes their buttons like that, and yes, we, instead of us over explaining to ourselves that, oh, I'm not like that because, instead of, maybe we will see that part in ourselves and say that, yes, you are right, I can be that. I have the tendency to be that. And then don't give any other explanation, walk away. The integrity will radiate from you, and the confidence that, yeah, you know yourself, you are not perfect, and you are very aware of this. And it's very, very important. It's very powerful. This confidence of knowing yourself and working yourself continuously, but at the same time acknowledging and accepting that, yep, I'm a human being, I'm good and bad, I'm working on myself. That gives you so much power that there will be nothing to attack on you. That other person will be just confused and maybe lose interest in poking you, and you will become transparent, totally transparent. In this aspect, we can even say invisible. It doesn't mean that you are hiding somewhere or hiding behind some masks. Is the opposite, that you are so transparent that you don't interest those people who really need energy from the fight and from your justification. And if you are interested in some shadow work or some practices, I have a meditation here somewhere. So you can explore that, a shadow meditation. And for you to keep your integrity and to always be on your own side, it's very important to know and see the difference between making a mistake and between character assassination. It's not the same. So you can again see the other person's intent. If they are just pointing a mistake out to you so you are aware of it and you can learn from it and correct it maybe, or they just absolutely want to destroy your self-esteem. It's not the same. And so I heard about this cool thing, this 7-day challenge that you can try to start out on this journey of not over explaining yourself. It's pretty much no defense for 7 days on your behalf. So for 7 days, no matter what happens, you don't defend yourself. You can either just acknowledge quietly, or you can even admit to other person that, yeah, I made a mistake. Oh yeah, I didn't finish that task. Oh yeah, I spilled the coffee. Oh, I didn't do the dishes. Whatever it is, but not from the place of being cocky and narcissistic that, oh, I'm so perfect even like this, who cares? And I don't give a shit what the other person thinks. It's not that energy. It's from the sincere insightfulness and really exploring your shadows and embracing how you are, who you are with your mistakes, and admitting them, and yes, try to correct them, obviously, but just see and feel. Is it uncomfortable maybe at first? Not to blame something, someone for even spilling the coffee on, oh, that stupid mug was whatever. I mean, that maybe that would be your first reaction, but instead just, no, it was all me. And just taking responsibility and accountability. If you start doing this, I'm pretty sure that you will improve these skills, and it will be way easier to sit in that discomfort of being accused and being demanded explanation from you. I hope this was helpful, and I really would like to hear what is your experience. Do you normally over-explain yourself still, or do you treat yourself as an equal adult human being and don't treat the others like superior judges? So please just write in the comment, and if you like this, subscribe, please, and like and share, and see you soon. Bye.